Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shubhashish Mishra and today's topic of discussion is on machine learning lifecycle. So let's look out the agenda for the day. So the agenda for the day is machine learning lifecycle and its need. So let's get started. So what's machine learning lifecycle? Machine learning lifecycle is the process to create a machine learning or automated solution to solve any kind of problem statement based on the data provided. The major steps of machine learning lifecycle are data gathering, data pre-processing, feature engineering, and then algorithm selection and training and evaluation of the model. And then we go ahead and do the hyperparameter tuning and also the model prediction. So now let's discuss one by one. So what is data gathering? Data gathering is the technique of collecting relevant data based on the business requirement. This is the most important part of the lifecycle. For the data collection, domain expertise is the most important thing. As the person or the group collecting the data should be able to understand the business and its objective clearly. Now let's discuss about the next step, which is the pre-processing. So once we get the raw data, which is done based on the domain expertise and from the business, mostly we call them the business people who provide us the data. So once we get the data from the business, so the raw data form given by the business, we go ahead and carry out the most important thing, which is called as the pre-processing. Why we do the pre-processing? Because we want the data to be machine readable. For example, let's say we have a textual data, then we need to convert that into numbers because machine can only understand numbers. So we convert that textual data into numbers. That is, we are making it to the machine readable format. Similarly, we also look into the machine values. If we have any missing value, then we can check the percentage of the missing values, and if it is less than 5%, we can go ahead and discard that missing values, those missing values or those missing rows or missing columns. We can also replace the missing values with a suitable number, let's say mean, median, mode, based on the requirement of the business. Okay, this is again the call of the business, that business has to decide that what kind of missing value replacement they want, or else they want to be the missing value to be discarded directly from the data set. That is being taken care of by business. But if they don't, then the ML engineer can go ahead and decide whatever he or she needs that feasible for the particular kind of situation. Okay, now we also can be able to go ahead and discuss everything about in details in the upcoming videos. For now, this is the basics of it. Okay, now let's discuss about the feature engineering. So in feature engineering, we deal with individual features or the columns of the dataset. We can perform many operations related to each feature, like finding out the potential outliers or anomaly and remove them, because they are going to definitely hamper our model. They can bias our model. Again, bias, variance, all of these things we will discuss in the next videos, but this is what the reason of anomaly detection and removal is. Okay, then we go ahead and find out the important features for the model training. Then we go ahead and scale the model. Okay, why we do the important features? Because important features are the features which are giving the positive impact for the model training. So we go ahead and find out them so that we can be able to improve the model's accuracy. Okay, and we go ahead and scale the data in the proper way so that it can come into a bell-shaped curve, which is the idealistic scenario for a model to get fit. Okay, we can also go ahead and do some sort of sampling based on the data splitting. That is, we are doing it in the train and test splitting. So there are a couple of ways of sampling. One is simple random sampling, another one is stratified sampling. In simple random sampling, we go ahead and pick up the samples randomly, and in stratified sampling we simply divide it into train and test based on the 70-30 or 80-20 feature. Okay, so this is how the sampling is also done. So once the sampling is done, then we go ahead and go for the model training, and the data that we have divided into train and test are going ahead will be used for the model training and validation purpose. So next, let's understand algorithm selection and training. Once we receive the refined data, then we look for the suitable model to fit the data for the training. So the first checkpoint for this is to check whether we have output present or not. If the output is present, we can go ahead for the supervised learning, else we will go for the unsupervised learning. Then if the data is supervised, then we check for the output data type, whether it is categorical or numerical, etc. Based on that, we go ahead and look for the model. There are various other aspects of choosing the suitable model, definitely, which we will go ahead and discuss in the next videos. Now, once the model selection is done, we go ahead and train the model with the given set of training data, which we splitted during the data sampling technique or the data splitting in the previous step. Now, once the model training is done, it comes to a factor about the model evaluation. So let's go ahead and discuss about it. Once we train the entire model, it's time to evaluate our model's performance based on the test splitted data we have. So we compute the model to predict, and then we compare the predicted and actual output, and then we find out the difference between them, which we call as the loss. So loss is the difference between the actual and the predicted data that we are getting from the model. Okay, so the ideal scenario is to narrow down the loss or reduce the loss. Okay, so now in the next step, if the loss is high, then what we can do, we can go ahead and do some sort of tuning, which is called as hyperparameter tuning, in which we go ahead and look after the model and we change certain model parameters so that we can be able to fit the data properly once we retrain the model. And then once the model is getting retrained and once we then calculate the actual versus predicted and the loss, if the loss is minimized, then the hyperparameter tuning is good. Else we will go ahead and redo the entire process again so that we can be able to improvise the accuracy. Okay, so once the hyperparameter overtuning is done and we have got the loss which is the minimal, then we go ahead and do the last thing, because our model is completely prepared. Now it is in the state of deployment. So once we deploy the model, then we go ahead and do the prediction. So the prediction is the forecast or the future value prediction, that how is going to be the future data. So based on that, the business can be able to take the decision, okay, so this is the positive aspect of our prediction and this is the negative aspect of our prediction based on the previous data that we have or the current data we have. So we can go ahead and take the necessary decision in prior to avoid the maximum amount of losses. So that is the entire life cycle about the machine learning models. So this is again a very brief idea. We will go ahead and obviously discuss each and every section in details in the upcoming sections. Okay, for now this is the basics. If you like the deliberation, please like, subscribe to my channel and share it with whoever needs. In the upcoming session, however, we will discuss about the data wrangling. Until then, stay tuned and enjoy machine learning. Thank you.